All right, I'm here. This is Nate Price. I am at the U.S. Nationals with Conley Woods, whose smiling face you've probably seen on the other side of deck taps many times before.
Just a couple times.
Yeah. Well, you brought something special this tournament. I really enjoyed watching you tear faces off with this deck so far.
That's what it's trying to do, tear faces off.
Well, congratulations. You are officially succeeding. You brought a mono-white deck to the tournament.
Yeah, a little different than the normal mono-white decks you see. Usually you see like either straight control or like straight aggro, like white weenie style, and this kind of like almost blends the two a little bit.
All right,
definitely very aggressive though.
Let's start taking a look. Let's start over here with the card that makes the deck run, the win condition of choice.
Ajani's Primate's probably the main win condition, although Serra's Ascendant is quite consistent when you pair it up with Ranger of Eos. But both these guys kind of do like the workhorse damage of the deck. I mean, and Elspeth is nice or whatnot and can just win. And you can always just get some weenie beats, but one of these two guys is usually going to be winning. Pridemate's almost never smaller than like a 6/6 or 10/10 or something stupid.
Yeah, I heard you refer to him as the white Tarmogoyf.
In this deck, he's quite good. Yeah, he's just always huge. Like you play turn 1 Soul Warden, and then turn 2 Pridemate. He comes into place at 3/3, and then next turn, your opponent plays a creature, he's a 4/4. Next turn, you have him up to like 6/6, 7/7 on turn 3. It's pretty insane.
Awesome. Let's take a look at this little package over here. We've got a series of 1-drop creatures, including effectively 8 copies of Soul Warden over here that are used to pump this up, and on top of that, put you at a nearly unreachable life total.
Exactly. Every deck right now is playing a lot of creatures, except for blue-white and the combo decks, the blue-red combo decks, but both those are pretty good matchups. So, like, in every other matchup, these guys are triggering crazy off your opponent's stuff, triggering off your own things, of course. You'll commonly get a couple off of a Ranger of Eos,
right?
And they really just fuel up. You get to 30 quite quickly. Earlier today, I was playing against Mythic, and I had 2 Serra Ascendants on turn 3, and they were both 6/6s already. Just
absurd.
Yeah, it was just like turn 1 Soul Warden, turn 2 Soul Warden, plus Kabira Crossroads, turn 3 double Serra Ascendant, and they were huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have 12 1-drops. All of them on turn 1 are fine. They'll all trigger this guy on turn 2 if you have them on turn 2.
Okay.
So yeah, they're all pretty good.
Right, also joining your life gain suite down here, we have the Kor Firewalkers, which are really good against like Jund and
almost everything is red right now. Blue, white, and Mythic are really the only 2 decks that don't have red.
Okay.
So while some people run like Lone Missionary in this style deck or like would look at him, I think this is just better. It doesn't die to Cunning Spark Mage, lives through Destructive Force, lives through Pyroclasm. So that offers a lot of things. Like I didn't actually face a red deck today, but even worst case scenario, he's a bear. Like you're never going to be too upset with him. You board him out in a lot of matchups, but that's fine. It also saves on the sideboard space, which is a pretty big deal.
Cool.
So yeah.
What about the survival caches right next door?
I mean, it's just you just draw 2 and gain 4. It's pretty sweet, like almost every time. Like it comes out quite often just because every other card is so crucial to your deck that it's kind of like the thing that can come out, but that doesn't mean it's not needed in the main deck.
Right.
It's pretty much universally good, like against Destructive Force decks. It's one of your best spells against blue-white, just its card advantage, and it triggers twice for your Pridemates. And I mean, it's pretty much all around good. It's never going to be the card that like blows you away, but it definitely keeps the deck running, engine going soft. And it's like pretty much only 3-drop too. So.
Well, cool. Speaking of Destructive Force, looks like we've got at least 2 different cards in the deck that do a really good job of making sure that you live through it. You've got Brave the Elements to give all of your creatures the same protection from red that your Firewalker's got.
Yeah.
And then just in case you need to rebuild after the fact, we do have a full set of Ranger of Eos up here, which not only help you rebuild the engine, but also provide you access to 1/2 of your kill suite.
Exactly. That's what kind of makes her more consistent. You end up killing a lot with her because of Ranger of Eos. But Brave the Elements is pretty key. Any lists that don't run them or like cut them down, I think it's pretty much a mistake. Like very rarely do they come out. Worst case scenario, they're a falter effect and they let you get through for a ton. I mean, they've been awesome. Like against blue white, I had like 3 counter spells in hand once, and I Brave the Elements. He responded with a counter spell. Brave the Elements. He responded with Path, and I Brave the Elements again, and they just killed him for like 18. So that's essential. Then Elspeth's kind of like every white deck's engine. I mean, it just keeps the deck going. Making 1/1s is huge just because you gain life off your Soul Wardens. Giving +3/+3 to like an un-giant lifelinker, like making this a 4/4 flying lifelink's pretty big.
Yeah.
And then it's just a must deal with threat from like blue-white and whatnot.
Yeah, and also, I mean, not too many creatures or decks are packing ways to deal with a flying 17/17 Ajani Pridemate.
Yeah, that's how I took out Tom Martell in round 1.
Yeah.
And the mana base is pretty simple, just a bunch of planes. We have 4 Tectonic Edge, which are really in there for dealing with Celestial Colonnades out of blue-white, but also will help against like Destructive Force and whatnot, just taking out a Raging Ravine and slowing them down. Right. And then Kabira Crossroads helps you out some life gain, pumps up your Pridemates, gets you closer to 30 for Serra Ascendant.
Have you run into any problems with the fact that it comes into play tapped?
Not really. It's the only land that comes into play tapped. I mean, Tectonic Edge kind of does, but you have 15 ways to get a 1-drop into play, which is like way more than like Mythic or Naya does. So you really just need some utility lands. You don't want to run. It's only 23 lands, so it's not even that many. But you don't just want to run all planes or whatnot. So.
Right. Cool. Well, let's take a look over here at the sideboard. We've got the 15 cards, a couple of one-ofs. It looks like they're, I mean, most of these cards seem like they fill the same general purpose against, you're talking about how your worst matchup is blue-white, right?
Yeah. It's not unwinnable. I won both my game ones against blue-white that I played today, actually. But game 2, you turn into a completely different deck. You have 4 Luminarch Ascensions that come in, and that's your basic plan. So with that comes 3 Path to Exiles, which is for hitting Colonnade, Baneslayer Angel, and Sun Titan.
Right.
War Priest of Thune, which is your 5th Oblivion Ring, which you kill their Oblivion Rings, get back your Luminarch Ascension, or their Journey Nowhere sometimes.
Right.
2 more Oblivion Rings that, hit their Oblivion Rings or the Baneslayers. Right. And then 1 Sun Titan, which gets back countered spells or Tectonic Edges, which are really important at hitting their Celestial Colonnades. So really post-board, you take out like 5 of your Soul Warden effects and like a Ranger of Eos and all kinds of stuff. You basically just become protect the Luminarch Ascension. So you really want to have one of those in your opening hand, or something else dirty to do on the first couple turns, like a big Pridemate will be nice or whatnot. Okay. But in Elspeth, your other route to victory.
And the Linvalas are in there for decks like Mythic that require...
Yeah, one of the biggest problems for the deck is Cunning Sparkmage. I mean, it's not in completely like blowout, but a lot of times it can be if it's like turn 2 or whatnot. So like Linvala, Path to Exile, Oblivion Ring, and then occasionally Purge will all come in to deal with Cunning Sparkmage and various answers. Like Mythic and Naya just don't like Linvala at all. So it's a pretty good 2-of. We don't have any way to fetch it out, so I don't really want to want just one.
All right. Well, this seems like you've been having fun playing this deck today.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. There's a ton of triggers you have to keep track of between Kor Firewalkers and all your Soul Wardens, your Pridemates and whatnot. So you really have to kind of pay attention and don't put the prowess on your opponent to keep track of everything. I had some situations come up with some other people playing the deck where Soul Warden's a must trigger, but Ajani's Pridemate's a May trigger, so they had to back up a game to catch the Soul Warden, but then they were allowed to catch the Pridemate. So there's a lot of triggers, so you gotta be ready for that kind of stuff. Even remembering your rebound off your survival cache.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's pretty solid.
Awesome.
Being yelled at from across the room.
That'll happen, yeah. When you're a giant Magic celebrity, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Giant, yes. That's me.
Or is yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun deck. Pretty budget. It's not too expensive. No Baneslayers, no Jaces. So I moved down some Elspeth, but you're gonna have to play some card like that. No Benchvines.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to break this down for us. Yeah. Good luck with the rest of the tournament. Hope your limited day goes as well as your constructed day so far.
All right. Thank you very much.